Welcome to this explainer. Let's just dive right in, because we've got a seriously fascinating topic today. Have you seen the headlines lately? A massive billion-dollar startup just poof, gone, shut its doors. It's wild, but the era of growth at all costs is officially over. We've seen these really dramatic falls from grace, and the landscape has fundamentally shifted. So today, we're going to look at the crucial lessons lean founders can extract from the spectacular failures of these massive companies.
So it really begs the question, right? Why are these giant unicorns crashing so hard? Well, the truth is, sheer size is absolutely no longer a shield. Throwing endless venture capital money at a problem, it just can't and won't fix bad financial hygiene. Sure, it might mask the symptoms for a little while, but that underlying disease, it's still there.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the end of unicorns, then look at avoiding the runway fallacy. From there, we'll see why revenue is not cash, beware of personnel debt, uncover the shadow spend trap, and finally wrap up with small is the powerful. All right, section 1, the end of unicorns, from growth at all costs to default dead. Looking at the wreckage of these once massive startups, one thing becomes crystal clear. Size doesn't protect you, and venture capital cash, that definitely doesn't equal a healthy business. Honestly, these failures aren't just news. They're the ultimate cautionary tale for lean founders. By looking closely at these massive financial creators, small teams like yours have a totally unique opportunity. You can learn exactly what not to do. It's a masterclass in building a resilient, audit-ready, highly profitable business from the ground up, completely dodging the traps that sink the giants. Moving on to section 2, avoiding the runway fallacy, the mirage of unlimited capital.
Picture this. A startup raises $50 million. Boom. Suddenly, the runway fallacy sets in. Any urgency to optimize unit economics just completely vanishes. They start treating capital like it's literally infinite. And, big startups fail because they just assume that next round of funding is always right around the corner. But let's look at the small team mindset. They succeed because they operate default dead. They act as if absolutely no more money is coming in, and that mindset forces them to ensure every single dollar works hard for the business.
Which brings us to section 3. Revenue is not cash. The danger of the cash lag. $1 million. This is exactly the kind of massive, celebratory booking number that big startups love to just splash across press releases to show everyone how insanely fast they're growing. It sounds amazing, right? But hold on a second. So the crucial point is, there's a catch here, and it's called cash lag. That $1 million booking actually means absolutely nothing to your day-to-day survival if the payment terms are net 120. Think about it. That means you have to survive 4 full months of paying your team's payroll, your rent, your server costs, all without seeing a single dime of that $1 million. In the world of startup accounting, revenue is often just a theoretical number. Cash flow visibility, knowing exactly when the money actually hits your bank account, that's your only true reality.
Let's pivot to section 4. Beware of personnel debt, the danger of premature scaling. Throw bodies at the problem. Yikes. This is honestly one of the most dangerous phrases in the entire startup world. The thinking goes, why fix the engine when you can just hire 5 more people to push the car? That mindset is a trap, and it creates a massive, explosive burn rate. Instead of actually fixing a broken system or a super inefficient process, big startups just keep hiring more managers to manage the managers. You aren't solving the underlying inefficiency, you're just piling on personal debt. Let's compare these two approaches. The old way, that's hiring an army of full-time bookkeepers just to chase down crumpled up receipts and do manual data entry. It's so slow, and man, is it expensive. But the new way, and this is the true competitive advantage for small teams, is agility through automation. By using modern tools like Ledger app, right from day one, you automate all the boring, repetitive parts of finance. Every single expense gets a digital home instantly. You stay lean, and most importantly, your team stays focused on actually building the product, not shuffling paperwork.
Okay, section 5, the shadow spend trap, the silent killer of growing startups.
$500 a month. Now, at first glance, that looks like a completely harmless software subscription. Maybe it's a project management tool literally nobody has logged into since 2021. Well, in a big startup with messy books, an unauthorized or forgotten expense just like this can go totally unnoticed for years. It just quietly, constantly drains the accounts month after month.
But let's do the math on that. That is $6,000 a year leaking straight out of the company. For a small, lean team, that lost money is a huge deal. I mean, to put that into perspective, that $6,000 could have funded a critical new marketing campaign or paid for the rollout of a brand new feature. Shadow spend is a silent killer, and it literally robs your company of its absolute best potential. So how do you stop it? Well, you adopt a one-touch finance policy. This means every single expense is permanently attached to its receipt at the exact moment of purchase. No more scanning receipts into some random folder to be dealt with later. This simple, highly disciplined rule is your absolute best defense against the total nightmare and astronomical cost of having to reconstruct messy corporate books when tax season or worse, an auditor comes knocking.
And finally, Section 6, Small is the Powerful, the Lean Revolution.
Let's quickly summarize our actionable takeaways here. First, you absolutely must maintain crystal clear cash flow visibility. Second, aggressively avoid premature hiring and personnel debt. Third, make sure you automate your tracking with software like Ledger app from day one. And finally, adopt that one-touch receipt policy. Remember, sustainability absolutely trumps sheer size. Small teams that implement these rules and operate their finances like a precision Swiss watch, they are going to outlast those bloated unicorns every single time. Agile small teams are truly becoming the new market powerhouses.
I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to ponder today. Take a real, hard look at your own operations. Is your most impressive metric the number of people on your payroll, or is it your efficiency? In today's landscape, it absolutely has to be the latter. It is time to stop drifting, lock down your financial hygiene, and join the lean revolution. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep building smart.